Hello everyone, this is Joanne Culverhouse with an important and a very exciting message about the future of our schools. As you know, our district is undergoing a very exciting transformation, and you are a very, very crucial part of that process. Over the next few months, we will be presenting and moving forward with an integrated vision to reconfigure, redesign, and revitalize our schools. We are bringing into curriculum and instruction new innovations and enhancements. We are reshaping the configuration of our schools. This is a well-coordinated, mutually reinforced effort to expand opportunities and options and outcomes for our students, and you are the professionals who will be serving them. Reconfiguration is an integral part of a bigger plan to enhance excellence in our schools. And first of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Carlos, Dr. Lopez, and the dedicated and creative members of the task force for the hours of planning and preparation for our reconfiguration plan that will provide a new organizational structure and focus for our schools. Through our demographer, Tony Ferruzzo, from Decision Insight, stakeholder interviews, staff and parent surveys, we are ready to launch a draft of the reconfiguration plan. But taking care of our staff is critical, and we expand opportunities and choices for our students, it will become the most important thing that we do. Because we can understand that reconfiguration of our schools, it will impact the educational programs, it will impact our facilities, but much more important, it will impact each one of you, the staff who have put their heart and soul into taking care of our students. Like I said at the breakfast, we understand that schools become your family. Marriages, the birth of your children, raising your children with each other, illnesses, loved ones passing, and supporting each other through all the ups and downs of life. So one can never underestimate the powerful love of a cohesive staff, no matter what capacity you serve in the La Habra City School District. You do a great job, and we really appreciate it. And as we're saying, stronger together, one team, one vision. So beginning today, September 20th, we will be meeting with each school team, classified employees, and district office personnel to share the vision. To ensure a consistent and clear message, we have put together a short video, and we are outlining the boundary changes and the new educational focus and identity for each school. Now we understand that there will be questions, a lot of questions, and there will be concerns, but we are ready to address all of them. No question or concern will be left unanswered, and all voices will be heard. So members of the task force and I will be visiting your school, and we want to give you a preview of that information right now. Now, we are aware that once we meet with one staff, the message will spread, and we want to make sure that the reconfiguration plan is clear and consistent. So now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Carlos and Dr. Lopez, and they're going to walk you through the engagement and awareness process that we are using to bring forward this exciting, transformative vision to La Habra City School District.
Greetings, La Habra City School District team.
We are excited about the progress the task force team has made in the process of our district's reconfiguration.
We would like to take this opportunity to provide you a summary of task force meetings, data collected, discussions, and updates through the following presentation. La Habra City School District Task Force Update. The task force team created a mission statement to provide a positive, smooth transition as we move forward with reconfiguration of La Habra City School District.
Our first meeting was on May 9th, 2017. During this meeting, we had discussed expectations and we defined norms, and we created a mission statement as well.
A second meeting was held on May 24th and included detailed information from Tony Ferruzzo, demographer from Decision Insight.
During the summer, we also worked with Tony Ferruzzo of Decision Insight. During this time, we held focus groups to collect information from all stakeholders that included parents, classified employees, former LHCSD teachers and board members, business leaders, and city officials.
5 questions were posed during the sessions with stakeholders. These questions are posted on this slide.
Positive information came from the surveys. Great for our students, great academic focus, also parents traveling less times among schools, also teacher collaboration, and a need for magnet schools, and many parents had stated it's long overdue.
Limited concerns were raised. They included bullying from older students to young students, facilities, and favorite teachers being missed by their children in a new reconfiguration.
This slide shows, as a teacher survey, the results of 181 teachers that they sampled. 83%, that's 150 teachers, all agree that there's a need for reconfiguration. 17%, 31 teachers said no.
At the end of the last school year, teachers were asked their ideas regarding a possible La Habra City School District magnets. The results are listed on this slide.
We also went out and took surveys from our parents through our Title I ELL survey from K-12 Insight. As you could see, 78% strongly agree that there is a need for reconfiguration, and only 9% disagreed.
The next few slides incorporate the detailed work by Tony Ferruzzo of Decision Insight.
This is a map of our school boundary, our district boundary. This slide shows proposed boundaries for La Habra schools based on shifting from 4 schools with grades TK2, 3 schools with grades 6-8, and 2 schools with grades 6-8, to a model of 6 TK6 schools and 1 combined TK8 school. Sierra Vista in the Lavender boundary and Ladera Palma would not have a boundary. The dual immersion program would move from Arboleda to Ladera Palma in order to expand the DI program to higher grade levels. See, Arboleda is too small of a school site to expand to a deep DI program. Ladera Palma, on the other hand, has more classroom and student capacity than Arboleda. El Cerrito and Arboleda then would have a shared boundary, with students having a choice to go to either school. Las Positas and Imperial are the same sites, which would have a shared boundary to create a TK8 school.
This slide shows proposed boundaries for La Habra middle schools based on shifting from 2 middle schools with grades 6 through 8 to 6 TK schools, 1 combined TK8 school, and 1 middle school with grades 7 through 8. Washington is a yellow boundary, 7th and 8th grade middle school, and would serve students from Arboleda, El Cerrito, Ladera Palma, Sierra Vista, and Walnut TK6 schools. Imperial and Las Positas are on the same site, would have a shared boundary to create a TK8 school, and would also serve 7th and 8th grade students coming from Las Lomas TK6 school.
This slide shows where the students reside who are currently attending La Habra School District. So each of the red dots that you're looking at are students that we service in our district. Note, though, the low density of students living in the north portion of the district. There are very few of those red dots. Notice, however, that hardly any students reside in the southeast and southwest corners of our school district. As you can see, where we're heavily density of population of students are located with the red dots.
This slide shows an overlay of the current middle school boundaries shown outlined in blue and red lines over the proposed Washington 7 and 8 and the TK8 Imperial and Las Positas boundaries shown as shaded regions in yellow and green. Notice how the current Imperial boundary wraps around the west and south side of Washington Middle School compared to the shaded regions of the proposed boundaries that split the school district geographically in half, reducing travel time for parents and students.
The next slide, at the top of each column, you can see year, grades, dual immersion enrollment, and totals, and we'll explain this next. The slide shows the progression for adding a grade level each year to accommodate those students who are currently in 3rd grade and will advance to 4th grade and beyond each year. As you can see, the DI enrollment for 2016 last year was about 166 students in kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grades. However, For fall 2017, staff projected increasing the incoming kindergarten to a goal of 90 students instead of the approximate goal of 60 students per grade level. This then amounts to 90 kindergarten students and approximately 60 students for the grades 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, for a total of 270 DI students. Then the chart shows each year adding a kindergarten of 90 students until 2023. As you can see, as you're looking down on the dual immersion side, you can see that 90 students are added until 2023. There are 7 grades, K through 6, that have approximately 90 DI students for a total of 630 DI students. Since Arboleda, again, only has the capacity for 387 students, the DI program needs to be moved to Ladera Palma because it's a better match for the long-range goal of dual immersion program. And keep in mind that Ladera Palma has a capacity seat of 637 students.
School boundaries. Arboleda and El Cerrito would have a shared boundary, with Arboleda becoming a STEAM academy and El Cerrito a computer science immersion code to the future school. Ladera Palma will have no boundary and will be the home of our dual immersion, which is currently being housed at Arboleda. Sierra Vista will have boundaries and be a neighborhood school with a focus of No Excuses University. Walnut will also be a neighborhood school with boundaries. Washington will no longer have 6th grade students and will be a 7th and 8th grade school and maintain its emphasis of STEM, Project Lead the Way. School readiness will also be moved to the Washington Middle School campus. Las Lomas will be a neighborhood school and will add a specialized education focus. Las Positas and Imperial Middle School, because of its proximity to each other, will become a TK8 school. For next year, Las Positas will have TK through 5th grade on their campus, and IMS will have 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students.
The next slide is school boundaries. If you look at the top column, it's school name. That's the name of the schools of each of our schools in our district. The second column is boundaries. It discusses and shares what type of boundaries they're going to share. And then if you look at the third column, it's magnets, the type of schools that those schools will become. And again, the fourth column is the notes, giving details to each of those schools.
Each of these next 7 slides, including this slide, show grade levels K through 6 in the first column. Note, TK is not shown because there is no projection for TK available in geographic projections. Current enrollment numbers for current boundaries for 2016 and 2017 in the 2nd and 3rd Solomon shaded columns, and what projected student numbers would be by grade level when the school reconfigures to a TK6 grade school in the next 9 columns beginning in 2018. Lower in the spreadsheet, the row titled minus DI students shows the current number of DI students who reside in the proposed boundary for Arboleda and El Cerrito but would attend Ladera Palma DI school. There will actually be more DI students subtracted in the future, but right now we don't know which boundaries those students would come from to attend Ladera Palma. The totals row shows the Arboleda El Cerrito subtotals minus the DI students attending Ladera Palma. The next 3 rows show the number of seats each school and both schools totaled have available for students. The last row, open seats, show how many seats are remaining when you subtract the totals row from the total capacity row. The notes at the bottom are self-explanatory.
So look at Ladera Palma. We'll take a look at the totals at the bottom. Now, these rows show Ladera Palma's totals for the K6 students. Below that is capacity. This row shows the number of seats Ladera Palma has available for those students. The open seat, the column below that, shows how many seats are remaining when you subtract the totals row from the capacity row. Again, the notes indicates Ladera Palma would be a dual immersion serving only DI Spanish students with one TK class. Sierra Vista would be the neighborhood school.
Now we look at Sierra Vista. The totals row shows the Sierra Vista subtotals minus the DI students attending Ladera Palma. The capacity row shows the number of seats Sierra Vista has available for students. The open seats row shows how many seats are remaining when you subtract the totals row from the capacity row. The note indicates Sierra Vista would be a neighborhood school, no excuses university focus with one TK class.
Walnut TK schools, same thing. If you look at the totals, the row shows that Walnut subtotals minus the DI students attending Ladera Palma. And capacity row, that shows the number of seats that Walnut has available for those students. Again, look at the open seat row. It shows how many seats are remaining when you subtract the totals row from the capacity row.
Washington. The totals row show the Washington total number of students. The capacity row shows the number of seats Washington has available for students. The open seats row shows how many seats are remaining when you subtract the totals row from the capacity row. The note indicates Washington's 7th and 8th grade school would be a neighborhood middle school serving students from Arbolita, El Cerrito, Ladera Palma, and Sierra Vista TK6 schools, DI, beginning in 2021.
Las Lomas, again, if you take a look at the totals, it shows the row of Las Lomas subtotals minus the DI students attending Ladera Palma. Again, the capacity for that school, it shows the number of seats Las Lomas has available for the students. The open seats at Las Lomas has how many seats are remaining when you subtract the totals row from the capacity row.
Las Positas and Imperial. The totals row shows the Las Positas Imperial subtotals minus the DI students attending Ladera Palma. The grade 7th and 8th grade numbers do not include the Las Lomas grade 7th and 8th students that would attend this K-8 school. The Las Lomas 7th and 8th grade student will add an additional 180 plus students to the totals each year. The capacity row shows the number of seats Las Positas Imperial combined have available for students. The open seats row shows how many seats are remaining when you subtract the totals row from the capacity row. The note indicates Las Positas Imperial K-8 would be an international baccalaureate and visual and performing arts school with one TK class and serve the 7th and 8th grade students from Las Lomas TK6 neighborhood school.
Task force responsibility was huge. We want to make sure that all stakeholders are clearly informed of the ongoing process taking place within our district, and to set timelines and make sure that we're establishing those to be met, and to ensure policy and governance and contracts are established as followed.
Task force responsibility continued. We want to ensure a fair and equitable transition, which includes strong staff supports for those team members affected. We want to identify facility changes and all needs. And we want to ensure all areas of concern raised are immediately addressed.
This last slide, please take a look at the dates. Please look at the timelines of discussion that will take place on those dates. The task force is working very hard to ensure that we meet those timelines and meet those expectations.
This concludes our presentation.
As a reminder, the focus of the task force is to provide a positive, smooth transition as we move forward in the reconfiguration of our schools.
Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, please forward them to Let's Talk on our district website. #OneTeam,
One team,
One Vision.